100.7 WMMS.
35192 when I send a text. AlanCoxShow.com. The watch is helping out today. Octopocto is back there. Hey, thanks for assisting, sir or madam.
This is just
Appreciate
a
the help.
coincidence that Octopocto is helping out today, and I was doing the New York Times spelling bee game, and octo was one of the words that I was able to spell. Well, it was actually octopod.
You're saying pure coincidence.
Pure coincidence.
Yeah. All right. Well, I believe you because I have no reason to
Have you ever played that spelling bee
to
game?
not. I have.
I love it.
It's triggering for me.
Why?
Because I was a spelling bee champion as a young man.
Well,
And it's a hard life, Bill. It's a hard life, and it's not for everyone. And I don't want to bore you with tales. Suffice to say that I'm lucky I got out.
when you did.
ALIVE, alive.
Mhm.
But you go ahead. You and Octopocto have a good time over there and do whatever you want to do.
Well, the beauty of the spelling bee app game is that you don't have to spell it right the first try. You just have to find a bunch of words.
Mhm.
So you being a word nerd, I feel like this is right up your alley because you know so many words and you always like learning new words.
Yeah. No, I don't do Wordle. My wife does Wordle. She loves it.
Love
She's
Wordle.
she's in a group chat of friends who all race to get Wordle done first.
I love that. I do that with my girlfriend. We'll play at the same time. Sometimes, like the other day, I got it super fast, and she's like, "What the?" And I was just like, "Hey," but usually she beats me.
There is a version of Wordle called Quordle.
Mhm.
QW.
Yeah, I hate that so hard.
I'm very good at it.
Yeah.
It's one of two words, and it shows you like how Wordle shows you yellow if it's a correct letter in the wrong place, green if it's the correct letter in the green in the correct place. Well, this because it's two words, it'll be half. So it'll be like half yellow if it's a correct letter in one of the two words,
You're
but
playing
in the wrong place.
They made a 2-word because I was playing the 4-word version of
Well,
that.
I'm only playing the 2-word
Okay,
version.
that's a lot more manageable. The
Yeah.
4-word version of it
That's impossible.
it's very hard. I've done it a few times. Tommy on my podcast is very good at that. She kills it on that.
Yeah, the 2-word version I can do.
2-word is way more manageable. I think you would like the spelling bee, and they also have mini crossword puzzles, which
I'm
I love.
not very good at crossword.
But that's why the mini ones are way more manageable
Yeah.
because you're getting like 8 words as opposed to 40.
There's a guy here in our traffic department who reads the paper every day, and when he remembers or when I'm in studio, he'll bring it to me, and I'll I always do the Sudoku, very good at Sudokus, the word jumble, and then I try to do the crossword, but the crossword in the newspaper, I can get like 7 words confidently. And then I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, that's why the
There's
mini's
no
so great
other-
because
right.
the mini is just a few, it's just a little easier. And if you can get like half of it, it pretty much fills out the other half for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do those. I get a word of the day email, and that's enough for me. That's just fine. That's
What
how
was
I
the
learned
word of
some
the
new
day?
Today?
Yeah.
Obnubilate. To
Obnubilate.
dim or darken.
Obnubilate?
Obnubilate.
Obnubilate.
So, but I'll let my wife handle the Wordle. She and her pals, and I don't mess with that. Hey, your Cleveland Guardians are on a pretty good run right now. 4-3 was the final yesterday. They took 2 of 3 against the LA Angels here at home. They're on the road to play the White Sox in Chicago. That is tomorrow night, 8:10 here on WMMS. They'll take tonight off. And then hear him from Guaranteed Rate Field, the South Side tomorrow night. And the last couple of weeks for you to use the promo code POOF, too. I was trying to explain to someone over the weekend that was the word. They did not believe me. I said yes. They said why. I said, I don't know. I tell them they need to let me start picking the words. But it is POOF for May. Who cares why? It's 20% off. Whatever you get at CLE Clothing Co. Speaking of the House of Blues, because I mentioned Spirit Box, did the Lil Wayne show already happen here, or is it
Like
happening?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
It happened.
Did he finish the show? I guess he got all pissed in L.A. and walked off early. Did people go here?
Yeah. I
It
think
was sold out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, it was House of Blues and it's Lil Wayne, so it better have sold out.
Well, that's what I mean. Not everybody sells out. We ain't about to be bending over backwards for these folks, is what he said. He ended the final show of the tour. See, that sounds like you just want to get home.
Yeah, he's over
You're like, I'm going to make up some crap because I'm not happy with how the crowd might be completely into it, but not enough for you. So you're like, this is the last stop. I don't have to go to Salt Lake City tomorrow or wherever.
Backwards for these folks.
That's what he said. We appreciate it, but we have to be bending backwards for these folks. We work too hard for this shrimp. We work way too hard, he told the audience after accusing the crowd of disrespecting his fellow performers. This was at the Wiltern in L.A. Last date on the tour.
Like they weren't paying attention during the openers or something?
Well, no, he went on stage.
He went late.
He was an hour late on stage. He went out and did like half an hour, and then he's like, here's these young up-and-comers that are on my label that I'm trying to get you excited about. And the crowd wasn't there for them. They were there for Lil Wayne, so they weren't giving those guys much. And then he was like, well, that's disrespectful. We're done.
That is kind of disrespectful, though.
Yeah, but it's also just dudes on his label that he's trying to get people to pay attention to. Like, it's not the crowd's fault if the people that you're trying to sign to awful record deals aren't lighting the place up. Like, there's a reason they're just starting out. I mean, somebody's got to give them a leg up. I get it, but it's not my fault. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I came to see you.
But you don't have to boo them or if you disrespect them.
Then say people booed him. He said
weren't even booing. They just
he wasn't
weren't energetic.
happy with the response.
Yeah.
He thought people should be going bananas. Second of all, do you want him to be more excited for these guys than you? No.
But that's also why you don't have the headliner go out and be
That's
like...
exactly what I was going to say. Why not have them open the show instead of go in the middle of his performance?
Yeah, it's a very strange thing to have them... That'd be like...
If you open for Bill Burr, he does 20 minutes. It's like, all right, Bill Squire.
Like,
what?
oh, wait, no, I don't want to do that.
You come back out.
No.
Then you do 10 in the middle, and then he comes out and does another half hour. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I'd kill it, but no. There's no winning in that situation. Even with the best material, people be like, no, we want Bill Burr, not Bill Squire. Like,
Bill Burr getting a nice voice cameo in Barry. Anybody watching Barry over there in HBO?
I need to catch up. I watched the first season and then did not
fell
stick
off
with it.
That's
I
great.
need to get back on. But there's just so many goddamn TV shows.
Yeah, there really are.
I just can't.
You gotta.
There's too many.
If you're somebody that's got the time, and I don't think any of us do, you'd have to have a spreadsheet for all the television shows you're watching if you're subscribed. Some people keep it simple. God bless you people that keep it simple. They go, I have Netflix and Hulu, and that's it. I'm the dummy that's got every goddamn streaming app. So then I go, ooh, what's on this? Well, I'm watching this too.
Well, I also just like stuff that is somewhat like just, I'm playing mini crossword puzzles while me and my girlfriend are watching Crime Scene Kitchen. Perfect.
Oh, you want background noise.
It's not even background. Like we're both kind of watching it, but we're just relaxing.
Somebody, I don't know
like
who
playing my mini crossword puzzles.
I don't know if somebody made a live joke or if it was a tweet or what it was because it's hard to keep track of that stuff also. But somebody said Netflix should have a category of shows that I can still follow when I'm on my phone.
Absolutely.
That should be a
And that's
category.
like Crime Scene Kitchen. It works perfect for that. It's like, oh, okay. I see what they're trying to make.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, so Lil Wayne, I couldn't remember if he was still coming to Cleveland or if he had come to Cleveland.
Yeah. Seemed to have gone off without incident in Cleveland.
Right. That was. This is my mother effing artist, Alan. No relation. That was Twist. That was Yaj. We are Young Money. We appreciate y'all time. And then they walked off stage after 30 minutes. Oh, listen, Lil Wayne he marches to the beat of his own drum. Can't give him a hard time for that. But you also can't give the audience a hard time either. I don't think. Not their fault. They want to see you. Leaves a bad taste in their mouth. Alan, I saw Lil Wayne at the Q in 08 or 09, and we brought his new acts out. There were Drake and Nicki Minaj.
Oh,
I'm
so
saying,
maybe you
like,
do
it
pay
worked out
attention
pretty
then.
well.
Yeah.
But that's hindsight.
Yes, but
I mean, these scrubs could be nothing.
But they could be the next
they
Drake
could
and
be
Nicki
the
Minaj.
They could, but
Drake
so
and
what?
Minaj.
I would say give some
Then you
credit
go-
to the guy who founded all these people. You would
No,
not
I
have
understand.
you would not have a Drake, you wouldn't have a Tyga, you wouldn't have a
They
Nicki
founded
Minaj.
all these people. He founded them.
He was their founder. Yeah.
Give
He's
credit.
he's their founding father.
Give credit to the guy who founded all these people.
Founded these
You mean found?
He founded these people.
All right. Listen, I don't know what to tell you, but Cleveland, Ohio, God bless you for having more supporters then protesters show up for the drag brunch or whatever. They did like a drag story hour over there in Gordon Square. And there were a couple of people there that were complaining and whining, but way more people showed up in support.
Good.
And that's good news. Veranda Lanai, which is an amazing drag name, and Dakota Cox, no relation, read books and played games and sang children's songs. I am curious, and I have to say, because the primary concern, not even a concern, the fake outrage over drag brunch is just because there's kids there. Even the people who vehemently don't think drag queens should even exist usually will say, hey, if it's adults, whatever trips your trigger. I don't know where the kids part of it started, though, because now it's just to the point where I don't even think this was happening as frequently as people think it is, but now you've kind of got to double down so that you can resist whatever that right-wing assault is. So you have to put on things like that. Whereas before, they were kind of like, I think, relatively few and far between. And I don't mean locally, I mean at all. So I'm curious, I don't even know like when the kid thing started. It was just like a couple of libraries were like, let's have a drag queen read to kids, right? Like that was kind of the genesis of the whole thing. Hey, that would be like a funny, quirky thing to do. But now those same people who don't want drag queens to do anything, they don't even want libraries around. So they've gone all in. They're like,
books are the problem.
Well, to those people, books are the problem. That's absolutely correct.
All books.
All books. That's right.
knowledge.
Yes. Yep. So, yeah, they started with, we don't want drag queens reading to our kids, ended with, we don't want our kids reading. We don't care. I don't read to them. I don't want a drag queen reading to them. But, you know, good news, I guess, or a good showing for those people who, you know, a bunch of Proud Boy dummies show up, or who I don't know who it is. You know, you can't. Nobody knows who they are because they always have masks on. Now they want to wear masks. But the danger with these kinds of things is that you're going to be overloaded with protesters, and you know those people are all in favor of peaceful protest. But that didn't happen this time. I was reading about a teacher in Florida who is being investigated by the state. Talk about Pixar movies, because she showed a movie called Strange World. This wasn't a Pixar movie, but it was I don't know if any of you guys
Wait a minute,
saw
is this
it.
the dream one with Jason Momoa?
No,
like a goat?
that's Slumberland.
Oh, we watched that. Okay.
That wasn't very good.
I thought it was kind of cute.
No, Strange World is the biggest Disney flop in decades. They spent $130 million on this movie, and it was okay on Disney Plus. I think it did okay, but it lost like $200 million for Disney.
We watched this. The gay guy is the main character.
It's got a gay main character.
Yeah.
So it's not Pixar, it's Disney. So, and
This
obviously,
is a cool movie, though.
Well, it was just the marketing wasn't there, and then the
marketing wasn't there. You couldn't. The premise was really vague. It looked cool, but it didn't do too much. Like, they had big names, and it was Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, it looked cool, but we watched it, and I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. So, like, it had an outline of a script, but I couldn't believe it cost as much as it did. But it lost a ton of money. But anyway, and obviously, globally, it doesn't help because it got excluded in all the global markets that couldn't handle a gay cartoon. So
The gayness isn't even a huge thing.
That-
They just
right.
ask, at one point, they ask the main character about his crush, and it happens to be another boy. Like, that's as gay
And
as it
that's it,
gets.
yeah.
right.
Well, that's a lot for some people, because then they're like, "How do I explain that to my child
Who's wearing a
That's
Kevlar
some-
backpack?
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly.
So Florida, the state is investigating a teacher for showing Strange World to her class. By the way, that probably doubled the number of people who've seen this movie by showing it to her class. 5th grade.
Well, double the people that maybe saw it in theaters, but like you said, it did really well on Disney Plus.
We've watched it like 10 times.
10?
Dude, Blake goes on stretches with movies where like that is the only movie we watch for 2 straight weeks.
Wow.
And it'll be like
She gets her hooks in. And,
yes. So that one was a couple months ago. It was Strange World, where it's literally as soon as it ends, she wants you to start it over. Slumberland was one of them. When the new Buzz Lightyear came out, that was one of them. She went through a phase with the latest Godzilla King Kong with The Rock. Was that one?
It was a video
Rampage.
game.
I'm sorry, no, Rampage.
Video game movie, yeah.
So yeah, but it's never makes any sense what she's gonna pick, but she hangs on.
Whatever
to
it is that's what it is.
You know what it was 3 weeks ago? Documentaries about tornadoes and hurricanes. Like I'm in the other room and I hear like terror, and I come back and she's watching a hurricane documentary and people dying. I'm like, what are you watching? And she's like, cyclones are made by high pressure and low pressure systems. Like, I mean, you're learning, but this is kind of terrifying.
We didn't let our oldest daughter watch any weather channel because she's so obsessed with weather and like thunderstorms and tornadoes and stuff like that. It would freak her out and get her all worked up. And we'd like walk into the room and you could tell she just changed the channel back. Yeah. And
she's all sweaty.
I'm like, what are you watching? And she's like, just the Jersey Shore. I'm like, no, you weren't. You were watching the Weather Channel.
You were watching tornadoes.
Just Vanderpump Rules.
That's just pornography. I'm like, no, you were watching the Weather Channel. I know it.
It doesn't upset Blake. She's just like weirdly intrigued by.
Is she watching that Dr. Beardo's Kid Cops or what's that show on? Oh God,
Kid Cops.
I can never get the name right. Tony Hale over on Disney Plus.
I don't know that one.
The Mysterious Benedict Society. Is she watching that?
Oh, maybe.
Try to turn around to that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one
bunch of
yet.
genius kids who were trying to.
But yeah, she went through this Strange World phase probably 2 or 3